Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, we'll be talking about the Oliver Hazard Perry class frigates that have all been retired in the United States Navy. Please remember to like and subscribe. Alright, Fact 1. Sea warfare only. The Oliver Perry class frigates are very interesting in that they don't really attack other things in the land. In fact, the only armament on the ship is against other types of ships, for example submarines or surface vessels. They don't really engage in other kind of land-based attack activities such as launching cruise missiles or firing guns or rockets at land targets. And also, their anti-aircraft capability is very limited. It's really to defend itself against aircraft and not necessarily attack other aircraft. And so you can see these as a very single purpose class warships where they're mainly used to conduct sea warfare. They've only been used to make sure that the seas that they travel with and the group that they travel with are well protected from a seafront perspective. They're not really used to go into a combat zone like other warships. Alright, Fact 2. Primarily an escort. As I talked about in the previous section, these class of frigates are mainly for the sea. And so what they do is actually they accompany other warships or supply ships and make sure that the enemy cannot get to the ships that they are protecting. That is really much it. They don't actually do active combat and doesn't actually go into harm's way purposefully. Of course, they may engage the enemy during an escort when someone tries to attack a supply ship or other ships in its group, and the frigates will come to its defense and fire its weapons to defend itself. But other than that, it doesn't actually sail into enemy waters and conduct warfare. These are not destroyers or other types of warships where the purpose is to attack and neutralize the enemy from the sea. Again, the Oliver Perry frigates are more like self-defense, if you will, in that they traverse the seas with the people that they are protecting or the ships that they are protecting and defend them against the enemy aggressions. Other than that, they don't really attack anybody else. Alright, Fact 3. Aluminum superstructure. These frigates stem from way back in the 1970s, and from that time, they've already designed it to use a aluminum superstructure instead of steel. The hull itself is still made of steel because that is typically the material the United States love to use. However, the aluminum superstructure, or basically the part of the ship that juts out from the hull and houses pretty much the entire ship's crew and command center, berth, weapon systems, and so forth, that's actually made of aluminum. And aluminum, as you can imagine, prevents a much significant weight savings as compared to steel. However, the downside of aluminum is that it's not as strong as steel. But again, because these ships aren't designed to head into an enemy combat zone and attack the enemy, but rather more like a self-defense thing, escorting other ships, it is pretty much understandable that they're probably not going to come under heavy fire, and so they don't really need a very toughened superstructure. Alright, Fact 4. Active in other countries. A very unique piece of history about the Oliver Hazard Perry frigates is that they have been completely decommissioned and retired in the United States. However, other countries all around the world are still continuing to use these frigates for their navies. In fact, what you see here is a Chinese Oliver Perry frigate. And what's more interesting is that the United States have been continuously donating its decommissioned frigates to other countries. For example, Turkey, Taiwan, or Egypt all continue to use decommissioned frigates from the United States. What they do is they take these frigates from the United States and refurbish them, adding new weapons, new capabilities, so that they can use it to their purpose. And it's likely that other nations don't use these frigates just for self-defense or escort, because, as you can imagine, the United States has the resources to build an entirely new class of warships for these purposes, while other countries probably need to make frigates into a multi-purpose attack and self-defense warships. Alright, let's get to the next and final fact. Fact 5. Attempted reactivation. It is very interesting that the rest of the world continues to actively use these frigates for their navies, while the United States has completely retired them. As you can imagine though, these frigates still serve a good purpose and are pretty functional in today's modern sea warfare needs. And as a result, the United States Navy actually tried to reactivate some of the decommissioned frigates. They've asked Congress to take a look and to see if they can have budget in order to reactivate some frigates and put them back into service. As you can see, these frigates are pretty useful, otherwise they wouldn't have asked for this. Unfortunately though, after studies, they calculated that the reactivation cost is way too much than just completely not using these warships and using literal combat ships or destroyers to fill in the gaps instead. And so as a result, these frigates are still decommissioned in the United States but fully active all around the world. The fact that the United States kept several to reactivate just in case makes me think that they might be needed in the future. Alright, that's it for my video today. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. See you next time.